The inventor that I profiled earlier this semester was Elon Musk. He is known for both his work at Tesla and SpaceX. For this assignment, I wanted to focus on SpaceX. One of the biggest challenges with spaceflight and space exploration is the incredible cost of launching stuff off the face of the Earth, and it's extremely expensive. One of the major reasons that rockets have always been so expensive is because they're designed to be one use only. They are custom built, they're fueled, they shoot into space, they deliver the cargo, and then they either burn up in the atmosphere or they are disposed when they land on the Earth due to saltwater contamination. The ideal solution is to create reusable rockets such that they can be fueled, launched, released to satellites and other cargo, return to Earth, given a checkup, and then repeat the cycle. This is the same model as for cars and airplanes. Why not rockets? The best and current reusable rocket for SpaceX is named the Falcon 9, or the Falcon 9 Block 5. This has become the workhorse of the SpaceX fleet. There are four main parts of the Falcon 9, almost any kind of rocket. The top is the payload. This is typically what is being shot into space, which is usually satellites, which are paid for by NASA and other private companies. These satellites are mounted into a single assembly, which are housed in a two-piece fairing that protects them while they are in the atmosphere. Once the Falcon is near the vacuum of space, the fairings are blown up and then the satellites are deployed. There are two separate rockets for the Falcon 9. They are connected together by the interstage. The first stage is the biggest one. This is the most attention-grabbing part of the Falcon 9. It is powered by 9 Merlin engines. And this is the part that will burn the most. Once it has reached mostly into the atmosphere, the interstage releases and the first stage is released. The first stage is once it's been released from the atmosphere, from the rest of the rocket, it will then glide down to the surface of the Earth. Once it reaches close to the surface, what the fuel that's been saved for this occasion ignites, and it guides the rocket to land on the surface. And these are the ones that are always intended to be reused. Once the first stage has been dropped, then the second stage of the rocket will continue to fire its engines, and then it will deliver the rocket into the appropriate orbit that's required by the customer. The newest version of the Falcon 9 is called the Falcon 9 Block 5. The original Falcon 9, called version 1.0, was first launched in 2010. The first stage was intended to be reusable as well, but was discontinued when SpaceX considered it too small and they wanted to take a different approach with how to make it more reusable. SpaceX followed the 1.0 with the 1.1 and then the Falcon 9 full thrust. The full thrust saw that should change the fins from aluminum to titanium, which gave them better strength, and they were able to survive re-entry, which makes the rockets much easier to land on the ground. With all the refinements that have been made, the intention is that each rocket with minor refurbishment can be launched 10 times. With refurbishment, they could potentially last 100 launches. Will we be able to see if that's actually true? Only time will tell, but I look forward to seeing what happens. And you can see Elon Musk and Zola. And I just said, only time will tell if rocket such as the Falcon 9 can truly become reusable, so that all you have to do is land them, put in fuel, not the biggest expense available. And I think this time space flight will revolutionize, and we'll be able to colonize the system. But we have to start with a small beginning, and here we are.